What's up, you guys? Today I'm showing you these binoculars, range-finding binoculars. This is the Burris Signature LRF 10x42s. So this is just an unbiased owner's review of them. I'll tell you the story of how I got to use these because I've used the Vortex Fury HD 5000s for several years, and I really like the range-finding capability and having it built into the binocular. It'd be tough to go back at this point, but I was at a shooting school, and another YouTuber, anyway, he had these Burris signature LRFs, and I had the Vortex that I've been using for years. And I said, hey, let me just see those. And as soon as I looked through them, it was just, you could just tell it just had that edge of sharpness that the Vortex just didn't have. And that's really what bothered me with the Vortex. Is they were good rangefinders, but the binoculars themselves just didn't have that sharpness that I wanted. Now, I'm not an optical snob. Some guys, you know, between a $2,000 and a $3,000 pair of binoculars, they're analyzing all these tiny little things. But even I could see, like, there was a big jump in clarity on these. And then I saw that these were way cheaper than the ones that I had. And so picked these things up for sure. So let's talk about them just as a binocular first. Then we'll get into the range finding and the settings and things like that. We'll talk about some build quality things and wrap her up. So I already mentioned the sharpness, which I'm a really good fan of. The contrast also feels really good in them. The one negative I would say in terms of the optics is you do get a little bit of a green hue. If you've used some of the SIG binoculars, they're worse than this. These are, you know, it's not terrible. Some of them I put up and it's, really bad, just color shift in the image. This one is slight, but it's there. You can see just this little bit of a green hue in them. So that is the optics. Then the range finding. I would say the Vortex had a little bit better of a rangefinder out to very far distances, but everything out to a mile, this is great. It's going to range it. It's going to be really fast, and I've had very, very accurate solutions with it. So I'll pick a couple targets out here. You know, you can't see what I'm telling you, but I'll kind of talk you through it. So we're going to look at those trees on this near horizon there. 687 yards, and it picked it up, you know, immediately. We'll go to the very top trees there. 720, 738. Maybe we'll go this way, see what if we can get something further. 700. Nothing's further than 700 yards from me right now. If I go to that far mountain, it's probably well past a mile. I'm not getting a range there. That's the furthest that I can see right now in this basin. But out to a mile, I've had really, really good results, and it is very fast. The laser, one thing that is very important to me is that the spot where you see in the binoculars, that's actually where the laser is going. And you can test this pretty easily, like if you go on a sidewalk or something like that, and you have a stop sign, but you're putting the laser past it, so it shouldn't get the stop sign, and then see if it gives you the 20 yards of that stop sign or the 200 yards of where you're actually aiming. So I can do that here with this tree, and I'm just making sure that it's not going to get the tree when it should be getting what's behind it. Yeah, and I have the little dot in the middle. I'm putting it just barely off the tree, and I'm getting the 60 yards and not the 20 from the tree that I should. So we can try a couple different angles. That was to the left, and it's very precise there. We'll try the other side. Yeah, it's right on. And I've seen some of them where it's pretty bad. Sometimes the spot that you think you're getting a range for, you're actually getting a spot to the side of that, and that, you know, obviously can cause huge problems. So the rangefinder I'm pretty happy with. One thing I would say is the actual build and how that relates to the rangefinder. You only get two buttons. You have your menu and your range it button, or menu and select. I don't love that. I wish we had a couple more buttons to get through the menus a little bit more easily. I do kind of feel like if I want to make any changes, I probably better get the manual and figure out how to do this. The menus are just a little bit tough to navigate for that reason. And if you're getting weird solutions with the rangefinders, you really have to dive into the menu and make sure you haven't screwed something up. Make sure that we're adjusting for incline, that you can have the closest target, best target, different. Do you want it to give you the number of whatever the closest thing it saw in the range finding was, or the best target, the most clear thing, like the metallic target, etc. And so if you are getting weird solutions, go through the menus, because it should be, precise and really fast for the range finding. The tiniest little quibble I could have with them is the rubber armor on here. If you move it around, you get just this millimeter that you can just feel it slipping on there. Feels like maybe they needed a little bit more glue on where that armor was, but that's a really tiny quibble. The form factor itself, they're tiny, light. Overall, I think these, for me, beat the crap out of the Vortex after using the Vortex for years. I really knew those binoculars, and I think these are better at a lower price point. I'm very happy with them. So check it out, Burris Signature LRF.